Hello, my name is Megan Cowan. I'm a Zhening Qigong healer and teacher. I'd like to talk a little bit about what Qigong is, and specifically what Zhening Qigong is. Um, Before I do this, for more information about me and my classes, you can visit my website intothehum.com. So Qigong is an ancient way of working with and cultivating energy. In Qigong, we talk about energy as being qi. And there are ways of working with energy in every single ancient pre-modern civilization. Every single pre-modern civilization had some way of talking about and working with qi. Um, Different words for qi are prana, mana, pneuma in ancient Greek. Spiritus mundi is what they called it in the ancient European alchemical systems. And in general, the idea is, again, this is sort of worldwide working with energy theory, which is universal. So the laws that govern chi or energy are universal. So you will see the same the same things being echoed from one culture to another. Um, so in general, the idea goes everything is made of chi. That includes the physical body is made of energy or chi. That includes things that aren't physical, like emotions, are made of chi. And that also includes at the finest levels of chi or energy is information. And information comes to us sometimes in the forms that don't involve words. So chi is involved in literally everything. Everything is made of chi, whether or not this chi can be measured by modern science or not, everything is made of chi. Now, though we can sort of parse out these different levels or densities of chi from physical to the informational realm, they are inseparable. They always exist, together. So in my body contains chi in physical form and chi in more less dense forms like emotions and chi in the information form. And the idea in working with chi is since all these levels are interconnected, changing the energy or vibration or harmony of one level, like changing something in the emotional realm, will have implications in all three realms. And this is something we know that's documented in modern medicine. For example, if someone is really depressed, we know that those melancholy emotions do affect the physical body. In Qigong, especially in Jinin Qigong, we recognize that changes in any of those three realms can affect the others. So a change in information, the finest energy realm, can have very fast and miraculous changes in the physical realm. So, Zhening Qigong is one type of Qigong, and this type is, in my opinion, the most applicable and relevant right now to our modern world. Zhening Qigong was developed and brought to us by Grandmaster Dr. Pong Ming, who I'll talk about in the next video. But Dr. Pong he's still alive, a Western medical doctor who also studied 20 different ancient Qigong lineages from when he was a little boy. And this was back in the time before Qigong, the secrets of Qigong had really been revealed to the Western world. In the late 1970s, early 1980s, Dr. Pong had kind of a realization that his work in the normal Western medical field was really being hampered by not addressing energy in that work. And so he was one of the first Qigong grandmasters who started to bring Qigong practices and theories to the Western world. And because Dr. Pong was a medical doctor, the first place that he applied Qigong theory was toward healing, especially healing people with chronic disease and illness. Um, so Zheneng Qigong means wisdom abilities Qigong. So it's not just something that can be applied towards better health or curing yourself from incurable diseases, though it absolutely has been. And as I'll talk about in a subsequent video, has been responsible for thousands and thousands of documented recoveries from chronic illness. But it is also a method that can be used for enhancing wisdom and towards working towards becoming enlightened. And those two things, health and vitality and wisdom and enlightenment, are very intertwined. So one comes with the other comes with the one. Something that I really love about Zheneng Qigong is that Dr. Pong was very careful because, again, he was steeped in the Western medicine practice. He was very careful to separate out the mystical, mythic, more image-based or cultural um, associations with these Qigong lineages to provide to us just what we needed to work with energy. So a lot of times in different alchemical practices, there's a lot of myth or customs or kind of weird thing. You don't really know where they came from, like cultural traditions or practices that come along that can be really, really hard for especially people in the Western world to follow and adopt. We might sort of try to understand them and think we understand them, but really not coming from the original culture that the tradition was created in is a huge barrier for us to really connect with the work. In Zheneng Qigong, we do use some Chinese words, but otherwise, you don't have to be Chinese. It has been stripped down of the aspects that are really associated with the Chinese culture so that it is open and accessible to people in the West. And that was one of the main goals that Dr. Pong had, is to create something that could be adopted by the modern human, someone who grew up with Western science and medicine ideas, so that this practice of wisdom tending could be used by anyone, especially people that grew up in the modern world. So as a result, what you get when you study wisdom healing Qigong is a deep understanding of sort of the laws of the universe that are behind every single religious tradition on the planet. So if you look at the mystical traditions that are behind all of our modern religions, for example, they all stem from the same fundamental laws of the universe that we learn in a very, very simple and basic way in Zheneng Qigong. And that is why this practice is being adopted by people of all religions, all races, people with any background, because it really is, it's easy for anyone alive right now to understand the principles of Zheneng Qigong and then apply them to the religion or culture or practices that they were brought up with or that they prefer. So, for example, I have a lot of people that I practice with that are Christian, and studying these ancient alchemical practices has helped them to understand the words of Jesus in a much more profound way, because Jesus was also talking in the language of these laws of the universe, the universal laws of following love, for example, to attain healing and enlightenment. It's all the same worldwide. So I hope that this gave you a little bit of an example, an idea of what Qigong is. Again, ancient practices to work with energy. And I will talk more about Dr. Pong and his medicine-less hospital that he had in China, where over 5,000 people would practice and heal at the same time. And I'll continue to put out these short videos to talk more about Zhenying Qigong and the small, subtle aspects and concepts that are involved in the practice, and why they have been so meaningful for me in my life. Again, if you want more information on me or my classes that I offer, please go to intothehum.com. I have a free 12-week course on introductory consciousness practices in Zhenying Qigong that you can check out. And I also have a free mini course on healing relationships that can come in handy at any time. So thank you, and look for my next video.